So you may be looking at your crypto portfolio, coin market cap, you know, that old chestnut. And Bitcoin's around 5,300. Again, it was hovering around 55. Now it's 53. Litecoin, $38. $38. What does that mean, Joe? What does it mean? There's nothing on my screen. Oh, there's something on your screen, my friends. Just hold on. When I was going to Lilydale, New York, I think it was late August. I told you, my video's still there about, hey, I met Steven, man. I'm jamming with him in the car. You know, he took me down to New York City. And had a good time with Steven, my guy. I know a guy. And that was when the first day I went up, or got to New Jersey. You know, my friend Jan says, hey, I know a really good psychic named Desiree. You know, you're into the woo-woo just for the hell of it. Why don't you go stop by her house on the way up? All right, why not, you know? Well, nothing I really wanted to know, just what the hell, you know, I'll do it. And I could tell she was legit, you know, she was legit. And, you know, that story, you know, how I met her. And then I saw them at the Litecoin conference. They both came, all that stuff. So, get up to New York, well, Jersey for a few days. And I think it was on the second, maybe the second day I was there. I can't remember, maybe the second day. And we were staying at my wife's aunt's house. I get a call from, I'll say, not Steven, but my guy, another guy. And he starts to tell me, actually two things in the same sentence. And one of those things I found the post on Patreon where I posted that, but the other thing, I told you today, I can't find this damn thing. I can't find the video. I know I've mentioned it since then, maybe twice, I think publicly on YouTube. But anyways, the one thing I posted, he said, you know, it looks like, he's like, I'm hearing Litecoin might, you know, might do a little pop, maybe 5%. Well, you know, like that night or whatever, within the next 24 hours. So I look, didn't quite get to 5, but it got to like 4 point something, 4.5. And I'm like, man, that's pretty close. You know, I'll take that. I'll listen to that. You know, that's some pretty interesting information. You know, and I did actually post that, and I found it. You know, found that post. So, in the same sentence, same conversation, he says, I know a guy really high into, you know, banking and stuff, and he's telling me he said he guesses we'll see $38 by December. Again, I'm pretty certain he said, I know it was December, but I'm almost like certain. If I could find that I can't find the freaking thing that I posted. Or because it may have just been a video, a private video. I searched, I can't find it. I even looked back around that time, I don't know what the hell happened. But anyways, I guess the good thing I've said it at least a couple times over the last, you know, several weeks, because, you know, when we got the first hit, I'm like, guys, I'm just gonna let you know what my guy said. He did say $38. This is back when, you know, Bitcoin was 50 something to 60. Just FYI. And I said to him, you know, I got to do my due diligence here, okay? Hey, first of all, you're calling me to tell me this? Dude, thank you. Appreciate that, you know. I got a source. This is awesome. But it's not quite as awesome until you actually see it play out. Now, it's not awesome. First of all, Joe, it's $38. I'm sick to my stomach. Oh, whoa. Do you know what this means? Do you know what this means? Like Doc said to Marty McFly, it means that this damn thing doesn't work. No, it means that I've got somebody that gave me something extremely accurate, which means if any major thing's gonna happen again, I may, like I said on my Patreon, from time to time I get some little things, you know, some little nuggets. You know, it doesn't mean it's every week, doesn't even mean it's every month, but this is something. And anyways, so I say to him, I said, $38. He goes, yeah. So I said, has he ever given you any information, you know, in advance of that's panned out before, you know, like crypto wise? He goes, well, I can tell you for sure he's only told me one thing crypto. He goes, last year they told me it would be, we might see, you know, 15 or 16K Bitcoin. I want to say he said 16, but again, I'm now I got to go off my freaking memory because I can't find the damn actual thing I posted. I said, he says, you know, whatever, 15, 16K. Because it got to 20K, you know, 19.9, close enough. I had to hold back a little bit and say, well, you know, your mind, well, if they really know, you know, you should, you know. But I still thought, because when they would have told him that, had I been, you know, sitting in the room at the same time, 16K Bitcoin before the year ends, you know what the price is today? You know, it was way lower. Like now, probably like 5K, maybe less, when he got that information, actually. So I too would be like, well, you know I got the Webbot thing, but it's gone for those kind of prices next year. You know, I've been scratching my head. I don't know about that. And then I would have been proven wrong. Holy crap, not only did it get to 16 like they said, it got that freaking 20. But it was the only thing crypto-wise that to that point in time that they'd given him. So me, I can't just come out with absolute certainty, hey guys, I think we need to sell right now. You know, because back in August, hey, probably would have a lot better time to sell your Litecoin than now, you know, even at the $50 and $60 range, right? But one instance isn't enough. I got to be safe here. You know, I got to be safe. You know, I got people that listen to the things that I do and the moves I make. I got to be safe and make sure I don't, you know, again, like, you know, have people follow me off a cliff over here. You know, we don't want that. So I said, well, okay, so he that's pretty interesting, but now why he says $38, huh? Yeah, 38. And he said his son thinks it might be in the low 20s. Again, I want to say 21. He goes, but I'll be honest, I think he's probably, you know, if anyone's going to get it, it'll probably be him, 38. He's like, probably that'll be it. All right. He goes, however, I'll tell you this too. He's given me, you know, some advice over the years, you know, financial type of stuff, like, you know, housing market, this market, that kind of thing. And you know, the last crash of the housing, yeah. He told me to sell my house, like get out of your house and sell it, because the market's going to go way down. You can get a much better deal, you know, in just a few years. Just get out, you know. So imagine someone calling you, a friend that you know, an acquaintance friend, and they're telling you to sell your house. You're not even trying to sell your house. You're not even thinking of selling your house. And they're telling you, dude, it's going to get hit so hard, this market, you need to sell your house. Get out of your house and go rent for a while. You better trust the hell out of that person. I mean, right? So, from what I understand, he did. So, to me, you know, looking back, man, he's got a lot of trust in this guy. And now I can see why. Now we can see why. It is $38 today. Right now as I'm driving to work. Again, I'm not sick to my stomach. Oh God, it's even lower. Ben, the Matrix portfolio, he gives me a text. Hey, how'd you like my double hit? Calling the second drop. Now his initial price was $4,800 to $5,500 on Bitcoin. And I'll tell you, he was saying, at the first initial time anyways, he felt like if he had to bet basically between 48 and 55, those were his range that he was getting. He was saying, honestly, I'd bet on the low, that we, you know, we'd go lower, closer to 48 than we would 55, you know, basically. So I mean, we're not there, but it's 53 now. It's like right in the middle practically, you know, of that target range. So I mean, you know, the guy's got something, I'm telling you. Old Ben, man, he's got something there. And again, don't follow anybody who claims they're always going to be right. He said it the other day at my house, you know, look, I'm not always right. And I think part of his problem in the beginning was it kind of sounded like, and maybe it was a bit of his ego at the time, like, where maybe you were led to believe he was always right. And he's realized, oh, you know, no, I get it now, and okay. And he's, you know, he's trying to make the best of the situation at this point. But damn it, like he said when we were talking, if someone's 70%, you know, if someone's, you know, could throw a dart 70% of the time and hit, you know, pretty much the bullseye or close, you know, right, the outer edge of the bullseye, you know, even, hey, that's, you know, it's pretty good. You know, you think about these kind of things, you say, well, why can't, if someone can get that kind of information, why can't they always get it? You know, like, whatever this is, it's just the way it is. Psychics, you know, stuff, whatever, it's just the way it is. And, you know, you either deal with it and say, okay, I can accept that, and I'm going to make moves in my life or investments or whatever it is based on that, understanding, hey, this one I'm going to take a chance, could be wrong, but I'll take a chance of the next one, hoping, and statistically they should be right, you know. And when these things happen, you just sit back and say, wow, you know, okay. Remember what I was saying about Marius? He's like, you know, we're going to see this kind of a drop off here before we see a really nice rise in price. And I said, look, when you say stuff like that, you got to be real certain. Or I mean, you don't have to be real certain, but you got to be pretty certain if you're going to take any amount of your portfolio and tell, you know, essentially people who are listening to you the same, you know, not that you're giving them financial advice, but, you know, they follow you, they do what you do. That's the point of it. And you say, hey, sell 25% of your portfolio, we're going to take a chance on this, you know, risk, reward. Hey, it panned out. Doesn't always pan out, right? Because no one's ever perfectly right, but this one panned out. So the interesting thing now is both Marius, Ben, Matrix portfolio, and other things that I have been listening to, just kind of quietly seeing, you know, I want to see this market do its thing. Sure enough, it's falling, okay. Like Ben said, he expects a very nice pump in the market. He was talking specifically Bitcoin, but again, if Bitcoin's going to over 12K as he thinks it's going to, between 12 and I think 16, did he say, when he was at my house? 12 to 16-ish, maybe? You know, K. 12,000 to 16,000. And it's going to happen soon, my friends, as in, like, I think before Christmas. So on one hand, I got my guy from, you know, August who calls me, just calls me out of nowhere. I rarely talk to him, by the way, but he called me. And I'm like, oh, I gotta take this call, you know, to see what, you know, and I didn't know that was the conversation, by the way. I didn't know what he was gonna tell me. You know, about $38 Litecoin, but I'm sitting there and I'm like, man. And I said, I was talking to my wife, I'm like, man, do I tell my peeps, you know, do I tell them about this, or do we wait and see? Because again, I don't have a real good track record at all of crypto yet. Just one thing last year that they actually overshot. You know, they thought it'd be 16K, it went to 20. Is that enough for me to tell everybody, hey, liquidate your stuff and this guy's probably gonna be right? You know, again, I have a duty in my own mind, and I think you should agree, honestly. I gotta do what's safe for people. I know there's a little risk reward, let's throw some on the wall, let's see what works. But I do gotta stay a little bit on the safer side when it comes to, like, me saying something like, hey, I'm gonna dump crypto, or a certain amount, a large amount, a quarter of my holdings or half of my holdings. Like, that's a lot to tell anyone to say, hey, I'm gonna go do this right now because I think so-and-so is gonna be right. Now, you get it right, you look like a genius, right? I mean, you're great, hey. But again, I refer you back to, where's all this going? Where's the end game? What's the end game? The end game is, at some point, and it's not gonna be that long out, as in it's not gonna be years and years and years. It could be another year or two. It's going to be so good, you'll probably look back to these times and say, oh, I don't care. Yeah, I remember $38 Litecoin. Yeah, so what? It's now, you know, 700 and it's on its way to 1,000 plus and blah, blah, blah. And you know, Bitcoin's over 25,000 and this is that and that kind of thing. And that'll be that. Again, that was my hodl from the beginning. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to acquire some more in the meantime. Which ones, you know, take a chance on some of these so that when these things go, you know, they're 10x, 15x my money, you know, or more. So, yeah, Ben had talked about this other secondary dip, by the way. Now, maybe not necessarily in the video we did, but, you know, and again, he may have said it in there. I don't even remember because I didn't go back and watch it again. We're talking about a lot of stuff, but he did say it elsewhere. I'll tell you that. And it just happened right now. and we have $38 Litecoin, just like that guy told me. So what happens in the future, J-Snip? What happens if that guy calls you again and says, hey Joe, this is what I got. This is what we think is going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and put that out on Patreon, like, immediately. With the warning of, hey, you know, this is crypto. It may not always happen like we think, and this guy could, you know. However, he now has a track record that I'm very pleased with. And anytime that son of a gun calls me, hey buddy, could I send you a coffee? Could I get an assistant for you? You need a little foot rub on Snip will pay for it, you know. My peeps through Patreon, we'll pay for this. Thanks for the information. You know, it's all good. So, look, I know the average person who may have just got in or months ago got in, $90 Litecoin or, you know, $8,000 Bitcoin, it's now 5,300. What is the semi doing? Blocking my road, my lane. We can get around them. Thank you very much. So, again, it's crypto. The market does this. It gives you double whammies. If you, like I said in my video the other day, if you pull out the Wall Street cheat sheet, right? It shows the depression phase. We have been recently, for sure, entering and into that depression phase. And it's a continuation today as Litecoin and Bitcoin drop a little bit further. But again, if you look at the Wall Street cheat sheet, you see a couple dips where it's at the bottom, you're like, oh gosh, and then, you know, you're sad a little bit. Then it goes and it hits even harder, and now you're in depression because not only did it hit harder, it went up just a little bit and then sat there and you're like, oh great, it's not going anywhere. That's where we've been, and then they hit you. So I think, you know, the whole Wall Street cheat sheet, first of all, you know it's legit. I mean, it works. I gotta try to use my camera to block my face here. I'm gonna sit like a pimp, like an OG in my car to get that sun on my face right now, because I can't put the visor down. It's gonna block you from seeing me. Not that you really need to see me, but maybe I'll just do the old hand maneuver. Or Joe, you could put on your glasses. But could I bring my shoes and glasses? He said I could bring my shoes and my glasses. Yeah, you can bring your shoes and glasses. Oh, and my shoes? Yes, and your shoes. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I've got some sunshine blocking my eyes. That's a little bit better, or a lot of it. So you look at the Wall Street cheat sheet. If you could figure out human beings and you studied them, like the elite study us long ago, they know exactly how we operate, they know exactly how we'll react when they show us some fake news on TV of something happening, or a soldier pointing a gun at a child. Oh my God, it's going to invade the country. And then you look at the other angle and it's like, oh, the kid's 10 feet in front of him, he's pointing it this way, actually it's over. Oh, you use some kind of like trick photography to fake us, and then, oh, okay. Right, they know how we act, they know how we get emotional, they know how we'll respond. I mean, it's obvious. So if they can come up with a formula in all markets, any financial market, and use the same damn formula on us, they can extract money from us. They can get us to sell at the bottom of every market because we're in disgust, we're upset, our stomach is turning, and we're entering a depression. I'm now depressed over this investment. I should have never done this. My wife's gonna kill me. I should have, and yes to this one, you should have never taken a loan out to get into crypto. That's a true one. But, you know, never put in more than you can afford to lose. However, if you still sat on it and waited to get past this rough time, it'll all pan out, because the market cycle is the market cycle. It's going to come back. And they know how to use this against us. However, we done figured it out. I'm over here doing videos constantly telling you about this. We figured it out. So either you can work on that depression and it gets to you and you sell off, or you say, I know what the hell they're doing. Thanks for the sale today. I'm gonna dig into my bank account and I'm going to buy some more. Listen, that $38 Litecoin, Snippy's not gonna stand by and do nothing, okay? Just gonna tell you that now. Take care.